Contemplative practices create common ground between people of different religions because they all point to the source of who we are. They all point to the unity of who we are. If you're a contemplative Buddhist, you will have everything in common with a contemplative Christian. You will have much more in common, two contemplatives will have much more in common than, say, a fundamentalist of any religion and a contemplative of any religion. Because to be a contemplative is to transcend duality. Now, I know that sounds like a whole lot, but basically it's just saying it's healing the split between me and you.
My goal is to really wake up the body, so I do about 5 minutes of push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and sit-ups. And that's really just to get the blood pumping. Then I do 5 minutes of stretching, so that includes 3 rounds of the sun salutation, which is yoga stretching. And that's kind of just to get rid of a lot of the aches from sleeping, from exercise, kind of get the muscles warmed up to get rid of some of the physical strain. And then I go into a 10-minute meditation. So I try to sit upright in a comfortable chair that I have. It's fairly quiet in the environment that I'm in. I'm usually doing this actually before my wife has woken up. And the first few minutes are just kind of winding down from the physical activity, the heart rate slowing, getting in the zone. And then the second half of the meditation can kind of go one of two ways. In some cases, it's really smooth, feels great. I feel relaxed. I feel like I'm at the beach. Thoughts are coming, but they're just kind of, disappearing into thin air, and I feel like I could sit there for hours and just enjoy the space. And then other days, it's significantly different.
For me, meditation underpins all my other practices. Meditation is more of a devotion for me than it is a discipline. And it informs and influences everything. Another thing that I do is work with my horses. And for me, my horses are a contemplative practice. That it is a work in being to being. And so it's a way of communicating with another being in a nonverbal and pre-verbal way, which allows me access to that sort of still place that I reach in meditation. And also, I use my knitting as meditation practice. It serves me a little like a mantra serves in meditation, that you come back to center, mind drifts, come back to center, and it's always emerging from a very still and quiet place. So for me, meditation practices in a deliberate way are formal meditation on the cushion and working with my horses, and a creative, contemplative time with my knitting.
I believe there would be a profound social impact if people could come to and engage in spiritual practices, contemplative practices earlier, especially in a digital age where our attention is so easily turned with young people towards a device and towards an interface with a screen rather than face to face with a person. And what contemplative practice does, although often there's an inward turn piece, it's supporting and encouraging a relationship with fundamental human capacities to feel deeply, to think clearly, to remain embodied. And those are things that sometimes happen differently when you're engaged with a device as with another person. And so I'll often say that we forget that a tweet isn't a kiss on your cheek. An email is not a whisper in your ear. And a Facebook friend invitation is not a warm, outstretched hand. Those things are all wonderful, but they're not person to person. And contemplative practice brings us back to that very human person to person connection.
If I were to tell someone, give advice on ways to find right practice for them, or what. It's really all depends on what you feel inside in your spirit, because people are always there's no right or wrong way of spirituality. So that's the main reason why there's so many different practices and religions, is because everyone feels different about different things. So just find what works for you.
Gardening is about cultivation, and so is contemplative practice. But you're cultivating yourself and those inner qualities that you want to expand and grow in your life. So wonder, awe, peace, contentment, gratitude, most importantly. Those are the things that are really the gifts of the garden and the gifts of practice.
What gets me really excited about contemplativelife.org is that it'll be a place that I can refer my friends, family, and clients to, because so many people need practices to support them, and I can't know all of them, and I can't know all the referrals for all of them. And this will be a powerful hub that people can go to, look through the inventory of what's available as various practices, and see what jumps out. I think our souls, our intuition will aid us as we search for practices. If we're presented with the right one, it will sing for us.
I think that contemplativelife.org would be very useful. When I started out, I didn't know where to go. I knew I wanted to learn how to do meditation, but I just didn't know how. Now, I have colleagues and nursing staff and patients asking all the time, where do I go to learn? And I don't know how to refer them. My workshop is reserved right now only for the physicians and staff at the hospital. So in the future, it would be beneficial for everyone to have a site that they can go to that is comfortable for them.
The mission for Contemplative Life is real simple and clear. It's connecting people and communities with transformative practices. But the mission behind the mission is this. I've seen in my own personal life, and countless number of others, the transformative impact of deep and sustained practice. It changes people in profound ways. And if we can help 1 million people or 10 million people find practice and find it earlier in life, the corresponding impact in society could be staggering. And that's what really drives the passion of contemplative life.